do that. Okay, can people see this? Of course, it's not doing present. Okay, everybody can see this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for bearing with me. Technology and I are not best friends, but that's okay. I will reward myself with technology today. That's what I will do. So let us welcome ourselves and each other to the new era. It is the time of feminine leadership. It's a time to fully appreciate who we are as intuitive beings, as well as our logical, brilliant ways of working. So it's the combination of the two that makes us so amazingly wonderful. So what are we going to do today? I am going to give you business timing for you for 2025. And I'm just going to tell you, I am telling you here things today on October 1st. Where am I? October 1st, yes. That I haven't told my people yet. So you're getting the first sneak peek, and that's because I adore Linda so much that I said yes to leaning in a little bit more. We're actually going to be taking a quiz. If you haven't taken my 12-question quiz, you can join the 22,000 others who have taken it, and you're going to find out your energetic signature. And you're going to be able to then get information that I'm going to tell you about on how to attract people into your world. We're going to go a little bit into marketing messaging. We're going to go a lot of it into collaboration. And then using those same signatures, we're going to go into money. We're going to do a ritual for you to meet your money guide. And who doesn't want to meet your money guide, right? Like, let's go. So, and then we're going to have obviously time for Q&A, as we always want to have time for Q&A. So let's dive right into why I do what I do. So I'm combining astrology with our beautiful energy for that ancient wisdom with trusted strategies. And so what I've done is I had an epiphany back in early 2020 about the marketing factor of, customers need to know you and like you and trust you. And I was on a podcast with a woman who I admire greatly. And I just said, oh, but you need to know, like, and trust yourself. And you know those moments when the skies part and all the things happen, right? This was one of those moments. So much so that she's never had a recording not actually be able to be produced into a podcast. And of course, that one couldn't be. So we had to re-record it at a later date. But that's where I said, oh my goodness, when you know yourself, you have such clarity. And when you use the stars for calm and certainty, because you know the timing, you know when to launch, when not to launch, when to sell, when to hire, all the things, it creates such certainty, you can make better decisions. That's amazing. You're saving time and money. When you like yourself, you're making connections without giving your power away. You're showing up into events that you feel comfortable with and you're fine, but those ones that you're stretching yourself, and we're all wanting to improve, and we all have curiosity if we've shown up here today, or if we're in C-suite network, or if we're in leadership global. And so when we're in that growth, our minds aren't really our super pals. They're, of course, wonderful. However, they don't really know how to grow. So when we're in our heart space, when we're in our satisfying place, when we feel fulfilled and we feel empowered, we show up with discernment. And that's really important. And that's why I do the energetic signatures, which you'll take the quiz to find out yours. And then the trusting, that's really the money shot. When you're in the flow, when someone signs up and you've just made your sales, and then you've done a launch and it's been beautiful, you've stepped off the stage and you know that you've touched the heart and souls of people, you're in that full flush of trust. Well, imagine operating in that more times than not, right? And that's where strategies come in. And honestly, when it comes to money, money is such a physical evidence about how we are knowing, liking, and trusting ourselves. And so we want to amp up your money. Now, the last free money event I did, people created $290,000 of new money in their lives in the first week, and there were only 40 people there. So this works. So without further ado, we're going to go into the stars first. And Linda said it, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. I will tell you, Amazon, Goldman Sachs, Fast Company, Google, so many other companies are using astrology. It's becoming a growth industry for companies to rely on it. And I really honestly would be surprised if Mattel doesn't use it, because the birthday of Barbie and anytime they do anything with Barbie is so unbelievably astrologically perfect. But I haven't found evidence of that. But I just wanted to say, what was it? The first woman director who made $1 billion movie, right? Yeah, there's something to this. Okay, here you go. This is what everybody's waiting for. Here's a snapshot. We're going to spend a handful of moments here. This is 2024, and this is 2025. Okay. So I just want to go in. We have one more quarter of 2024. I want to go into that energy for you. And I've only put dates from now until the end of the year because we don't want to waste these 3 months. Yes, we're starting to plan for 2025. Yes, we're doing our due diligence on that, right? But when we look at this last quarter, like I said, we don't want to just have a whatever for Q4 because the energy is too good for us not to. The theme for 2024 was collaboration. So look at, you're in a networking group. Like this is a good thing. This is really the energy from now until forever, quite honestly. And it's the energy because for us to just do transactions, for us to be in that ever expanding growth, for us to do that, love them and leave them, it doesn't work. It's led to exhaustion. It's led to stress. I mean, just look at the statistics of people that are not in a place of sustainability. Well, collaboration gives you more strength. It gives you better connections. It fulfills you more. That's the theme of 2024. I always come up with a movie. The Replacements. For those of you who haven't seen it, which I can't imagine a lot of you have, it's a movie that came out in about 2000. Gene Hackman, Keanu Reeves starred in it, and it was about a second chance. It was about a football team of ragtag individuals that came together and they wanted to go and create winnings for them to reach a certain level so that they could get their, I guess there was a strike going on, and so they could get that team into the championship, and they did it. So 2024 has been a year. We can congratulate ourselves that we've made it to the 10th month. Like, yay. But I don't know about you, but it's been like walking on cobblestones. It's been like, is my foot in the right place? And does it feel really like sturdy? And what about this foot in the right place? Does it feel really sturdy? Talking about the replacements, really working together with people, recognizing your value and appreciating your gifts. That's been the key. It's been super edgy energy. It feels like we've been hollowed out. So the key has been to fill ourselves up. So the goal for the next 3 months, think about retreats, summits, conferences. Think about attending workshops. Think about ways you can fill yourself up as you're going through the rest of the fourth quarter. Now, what's been the deal in the sky? Pluto has been wreaking havoc with everybody and everything. We only have to read the news to understand what's happening. Pluto's goal has been to destroy things that no longer work, bring it all up to the surface for healing, and to give us the strength to transform. Huh. Does that sound like something we've all been living through, right? From a personal perspective, it's helping us recognize and love ourselves in wholeness. Yes, the good, the bad, the ugly. There's another energy that's been going on, and it's with that grand vision that we may have had remembered and articulated at the end of 2020. This is our first confrontation in it. It's a 20-year cycle for us. We're almost at that 5th year because it started in August. It's going to hit another timeline right here in December, and then it's going to hit another one in June. And it's for us to prioritize what's truly important. Notice how I paused. What's truly important. So what's important to us, not what's important to others, not what we should be doing, but what really fuels us and drives us. And this is why I do things with your energy, because do you enter your world through your mind? Do you enter your world through connection? Do you enter your world through action? That's really telling, because your intentions and your priorities will be in support of that. So key dates, we've got November 3rd. There could be an opening. It's another new moon energy. We're not going to go into what's happening that week in the United States. We're just going to ignore that. We're going to focus on ourselves, and we're going to just focus on our own businesses. You're going to have either a challenge or an epiphany around if you're on the right trajectory or not. Now, if you had been in my world like in March, I was telling you this, it's coming in that 6 to 7 month time frame. That energy from November 3rd will be alive and well until April. So don't be surprised if over this winter, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, if you're questioning yourself, if you're tweaking, fine tuning, streamlining, optimizing, you're in the right place if that's what you're doing. Now, the new era, quote unquote, energy for visionary leaders, that's when Pluto, you may have heard that, Pluto is entering Aquarius. It's the age of Aquarius. It's going to be 20 years. I've been talking about 2024, setting you up for the next 20 years. And it's legit, it's for real. Not to put pressure and not to like freak out and go, oh my God, but to really understand and appreciate, like, okay, we mean business. Like, this is serious. And so when I look at, let's say you're looking at Leadership Global versus another group, you're going to really go into your own heart space and you're going to discern what's right for you. When you're looking at, gee, do I want to make this offering before that offering? And do I want to do it in Q1 of 2025 or want to go do it in Q2 of 2025? I'll give you timing on that. However, you might be saying to yourself, you know what? I adore Q1. It's my jam. I have lots of activity there. So regardless of what's going on, that's going to be right for me, even though maybe it won't be right for someone else. That's what I mean about this really setting you up for the next 20 years. Now, let's go to this side of the aisle, shall we? And this is where I've done some of this for my people, but I haven't told them the movie yet. So you're getting the first one, and everybody loves the movie. Okay, the theme is breakthrough. It's going to be a really fiery energy. And again, astrology leads and then economics follow and geopolitics follow that, or geopolitics and economics kind of like do a circle together, and then business trends follow that. I don't think you need to be an astrologer to understand and appreciate that it's probably going to be pretty fiery next year, right? I mean, we can see it. But when I was looking at this in 2018 and I said, wow, it's going to be really fiery in 2025, that's where the astrology really gives you the lens, right? So what does fire do? Fire destroys and creates, because through chaos, there is creation. So this is where you creating what is right for you is the key. And that's where the breakthrough comes in. When you are filling your inner life with things that are so unbelievably luscious, that's where you're sustainable. That's where you know, and you're fired up and you're passionate and you're enthusiastic and you're inspiring, and you become a market to your marketplace, and you make those connections that matter, and you make those handshakes that you want to make, and you then have that engagement and you have those conversations to lead people into your own space. That's what this is all about. When you look at the movie, I mean, Apollo 13, that's a little scary, isn't it? Like, I didn't love saying The Empire Strikes Back for 2020, but that's what it was. Didn't like saying Twister for 2022, but that's what it was. So Apollo 13, what is that? It's going to seem as if things are just beyond your reach. That's the way it's going to seem, but we don't need to be deluded by that. Okay, because think about it. People worked together, they used their brilliance, they understood and appreciated the imperativeness of bringing those men back home, right? It was a huge, unbelievable win for every single person involved, and quite frankly, for mankind. So that's what we have in store for us in 2025. And so personally, what does that mean for you? Well, let's understand and appreciate that the winter, I had just said it before when I was talking about Q4 of 2024. I'm going to say similar things for Q1 of 2025. Optimize, streamline, adjust, tweak, get really super clear. Get so crystal clear, galvanize your energy, be in a space that you are unwavering. Think of a tree, get your roots really rooted, because you can be the beacon, you can be the visionary, you can be the leader that people are looking for to be able to help them gain their calm, their certainty, their way forward. Doesn't matter if you're selling products or you're selling services. That is the way. The energies, as I said, are going to be really fiery. It's a time of disruption, and our minds can say that that doesn't seem like a really good thing, but think about it. When things are disrupted, that's where change comes. And I think every single one of us here can say, yeah, it's time for a change, right? Like the noise in the marketplace, just the trying to get to that 3-second rule to do a reel or to do something in social media or to try to get somebody's attention to come into a room to be ever growing and ever expanding, I mentioned before, is exhausting. The expectations are unrealistic. It is time for a change. And like I love reminding all of the people who listen to my podcast or all of the people who follow me, we've chosen to be here at this time. We said yes. We said yes. It would be a great idea to be alive in 2024 and 2025 and help the world do the things that we're here for, right? So this is a mission bigger than ourselves. We have our own personal mission, but we are all part of a collective mission. And there's going to be a huge wake-up call on March 30th of 2025 because people are going to wake up. They're going to say, I've been allowing, like, I love to show this, like I've just been allowing the phone and social media, and I'm just watching reels, and it's been really great. It's been soothing, and it's been a wonderful thing to binge Netflix. Hey, I've been binging The Rookie. Like, who knows what that's all about, right? And I just binge supermarket stakeout. So we all have these things, and it's great to say, yes, that gives me satisfaction. That gives me pleasure. But I'm not doing it at the expense of living my life and living my soul mission. That's what I mean. People that have been kicking the can down the road and just being like, oh, I'll make a decision later. Oh, I'll do that some other time. Oh, I'll whatever. They're going to have a beautiful ability in 2025. There's that wake up call on March 30th, but then Saturn comes in, and I'll talk about what that means on May 25th. So here are the two dates right here. Saturn is what gives us the fortitude. Saturn rules Saturday, chore day, right? Like Saturn rules all right, you know what? I should really clean the kitchen. I don't feel like it, but I really should. Saturn's the one who gives you the ability to do that. Through your task list, make those calls, do those things that you're not really thrilled to do. We can thank Saturn for that. Saturn and Neptune are coming together. We have huge opportunities to start things new. So when you're looking at Q2 of 2025, new to the new to the new to the new to the new. There's a little bit of a retrograde period. You don't need to Mercury retrograde. So the beginning of April, you might want to wait till mid-April. I'm telling all my clients mid-April to the end of July. Great time. Great time. Launch a book, launch a podcast, do some big thing about a new stage. Doesn't mean you can't do things between now and then, but it would be better if you were doing things you've already done. I'm an astrologer. This is my biggest time of year. My biggest time of year is between November and the end of January. You can guarantee that I'm doing my launch sequence and I'm doing all the things, but I'm doing it in a way that I'm revisiting things. I'm doing the comparison between 2024 and 2025. I'm doing longer timelines. I'm buckling it in a little bit differently than I've done before because of the way the energies are. So that's what you want to be thinking about. We have a beautiful, gorgeous, think of Cancer energy. I'm just trying to say another word other than a zodiac sign. This is where the feminine energy, that June 9th date, is where Jupiter enters Cancer. You don't need to know that, but think of 12 years ago. Think of 2013. We're going to be revisiting those times. There was great support in the energy. There was open-heartedness. There was the ability for more connection and greater nurturing. So that's beautiful. That will last a year. That's going to feel really, really yummy. Mars is getting us ready for that right now, and people are uncomfortable. They're like, I'm impatient. I want to get things done. Why isn't this working? It's Q4. I haven't met my obligations. My expectations. What I'm saying is recalibrate. Recalibrate, because guess what? You're too important, and you're worth more than all the money in the world. Your well-being, your peace of mind, your open-heartedness, your soul's mission, those are the things that are really worth it. So when we're looking at priorities of your grand vision, what's truly valuable to you? And what do you truly value? You really understand and appreciate and integrate that over the next 6 months, and you can be like vroom, vroom on Q2 and all through the summer. So there are big changes coming. and July 7th. We're going to feel him. It's Uranus. He's the lightning bolt. He's the chaos creator. He's the one that when you look back in your life and you say, oh, I got laid off and that was terrible time, but it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me. Or, I got a really crappy boss and oh, it was just terrible. So I made these 3 shifts and then you realize like, oh, it was the best thing that ever happened. That's what we're going to be feeling in that July timeframe, but it's to open up your mind. It's to be curious. It's to ask the greater questions and to be filled with wonder. So these were the stars, my friend, laid out before you, giving you some timing, giving you some dates, giving you some energy and some information, because we're going to go into the signatures. So Linda, can you copy that link? Because I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes.
Absolutely. I'll
Thank you.
add the link to the discussion to the.
Okay, because we're going to go ahead. For some reason, I can't see the chat. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go and take this quiz. If you go to your starmaptosuccess.com, there's going to be 12 questions. And I don't think, when I looked through who is here, I don't know of anybody who's taken the quiz. So after you do that, I want you to type in what your signature is. How are people doing? Usually takes about 3 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I love it. Oh, of course, Angela. Of course, you're a creative superstar, Angela. Linda, I knew you were a collaborative explorer. Absolutely, 1,000,000%. I love it. Okay, once I see everybody starting to look up, Melanie, I'm an intuitive visionary too. Oh, Women Warriors, I adore them. Another collaborative explore, two more collaborative explorers. I love that. Not surprising. In a networking groups, we get usually a lot of collaborative explorers, as you can imagine, because they love to connect. When I'm doing direct sales groups, we get a lot of collaborative explorers as well. When I'm in a intuitive space, we get a lot of wise strategists. When I am in a PR space, we get a lot of ruling warriors. And it's just fascinating because in total, out of the 22,000 people that have taken it, 26% are wise strategists. 23% are either collaborative explorers or loving alchemists. Those are both 23%. 10% are intuitive visionary. 14% are creative superstars. Where's my math? And about 4% are ruling warriors. So it's just fascinating to me to just see what these results are. So thank you for putting that in the chat, because this is going to give you so much information. This is the way we attract people. So as I'm going through and I'm looking at what the fabric is of the world, right? I just told you most people come in as wise strategists, very much into the world through their minds. They love facts and figures. They love to read articles, and they're about the how and how to process things. And when you're thinking about going to the marketplace or having conversations, we tend to lean towards that, right? We tend to lean towards, I'm going to tell you how I did something. I'm going to tell you what my methodology is. Look at the way I started the presentation, right? I started it that way. It's just natural for us to do that. That's a beautiful way to attract wise strategists into your world. I'm an intuitive visionary, and we have Melanie, an intuitive visionary. I don't know who else we has an intuitive visionary. We're about 10% of the population. We want to know that big, huge, most maximum possibility in the universe, even if it's not realistic, right? We want to know that, you know what? You might be at $10,000 a month right now, but you can get to $100,000 tomorrow. And me, intuitive visionary, I'm like, tell me more. Like, tell me how that can happen. Whereas a wise strategist would be like, are you kidding me right now? Like, that's not even realistic. If I have the wise strategist is doing this, if I have a baseline of this, what would it need to then take to get to this, right? The intuitive visionary is like, but it just seems amazing. My mind is right here for it. So we want to know about potential. We want to know the big picture. The best thing for us to do is to speak for us to attract our people. So I've done it where, how do you want to attract this person and how do they like to be attracted? So it's both. So again, wise strategists want to read things. They want things very linearly. They want them to be detailed. They want them to be steeped in facts and figures. Whereas intuitive visionary is like, no, 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 just tell me that big, huge possibility. Just absolutely. These two signatures enter the world through our minds. So one of them is more masculine, one is more feminine. The wise strategist has more of that masculine, that core, that logic, that proof, that scientific evidence. The intuitive visionary is like, I'm just going to take the leap of faith. It's fabulous. I'm going to go with the flow. It's awesome. So leans more towards that feminine, intuitive. It's right in the name, right? Collaborative Explorer, Ruling Warrior. Collaborative Explorers are all about community. If you want to draw a collaborative explorer into your world, you're going to be talking about who you know, not what you know. You're going to be talking about the people in your group. You're going to have a group, because you're not going to call in a collaborative explorer unless you have a group, right? Could be a free group, but a podcast, a collaborative explorer will listen to a podcast when they know that it is impactful to the world. So they want to know that a lot of people are doing it, not because it's any sort of stature or positional, like the trappings of what this holds. It's none of that. It's that they are so about the group, that larger collective. They can't help themselves. They want to know who's there. Their best way, and the best way to attract them into your world, is panels. They love to do interviews. They love to have discussions. Podcast interviews are amazing. They like to have some space to be able to talk about what they really truly mean. They're not going to do the 3 seconds. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't have time for that, right? So this is really beautiful. So I'm just looking at messages a little bit too. Okay. So it's all about who for the collaborative explorer. They're very much from that feminine, like big, the group, the larger, in service, humanity as a whole, big impact. Collaborative explorers, big impact. I will tell you, this is your time. The new era is your time because everything's about collaboration and connection. So you are perfectly primed and allow yourself to be in the spotlight and all things good happen. Ruling warrior, also about, but they're much more about striving, much more about the results. But when people talk about marketing about value proposition, they're talking about ruling warriors. Like, what results have you gotten? I want to make sure I'm a quick decision maker, very quick decision maker, but I want to make sure that I understand and appreciate what is going to be that end result for me. Sure, make me do things for 6 months. I've got to do 12 things. I'm fine with that. Tell me what it is. Tell me when to show up. Bottom line it for me. Be direct. Be perfectly clear. Because I really don't suffer fools, right? If you don't really know what you're doing, if you don't have a full appreciation, I can help you, but I'm not going to lean in for you to be my guide. I'm not going to lean in for you to be my mentor. I need to be assured that you are positive about what it is you're doing. They are your quick decision makers. You know how people will say about 5% of the people will sign up right away? Most of them are going to be ruling warriors. Ruling warriors and intuitive visionaries split that. The intuitive visionaries make a decision. Guess what? You always have to sell to an intuitive visionary because they'll make a decision and then they'll come back to you and say, what did I sign up for? I am absolutely on this. Like, this happens to me. I just know that it's the right thing to do. Ruling warriors do it for a different reason. They don't have the time to read all the things unless it's really clear. Like, boom, bottom line it for me, bottom line it for me, bottom line it for me, bottom line it for me. And then they're like, oh, absolutely. Ruling warriors belong on big stages. They are so amazingly gracious hosts. If you have the opportunity to be on a stage with a ruling warrior, say yes. Absolutely. They are so incredibly, they are just as gracious as the collaborative explorer. If you have the opportunity to be on a stage with a collaborative explorer, say yes. These two signatures are all about entering through connection. It's all about the who. Okay, the last two, creative superstar and loving alchemist. I know we've gotten a lot of creative superstars. I don't know if I saw a loving alchemist. Yes. Okay. So some, I did see a few. Okay.
So one, Sonia, she's
Sonia.
a,
Okay.
yeah, she is a loving alchemist.
I love that. Okay. Creative superstars, it's in your name. You are so incredibly creative. So, Angela, not surprising that you got creative superstar, right? If I had to guess, if I know you this much, I can guess, right? And so, creative superstars, and I believe that Angela has written books and stories, right? Like, all about the stories. If you want to capture the creative superstars' attention, first of all, things being beautiful and designed, because they're so good at it, right? So, that's going to be one thing. But to hold their interest, it's going to be about the story. It's going to be about, okay, Sarah did this and then this happened. And the creative superstar is like, oh yes, okay, I can really identify with that. And their attention's captured. They love videos. So doing videos and being in videos, a lot of times creative superstars don't love to show up in this way, and it's because their energy gets depleted. Creative superstars are very empathetic, as are loving alchemists. We all are, but these two signatures are like this on steroids. So for creative superstars, allowing yourself to have your own rhythm and tempo, and it doesn't make sense to anybody else in the world. One of the first things I do with creative superstars is I set their calendar. And you would think, wait a minute, you're going to walk through my stars the minute I'm born. You're going to channel the voice of my soul. You're going to tell me all the things, and you're going to set my calendar. Are you kidding me right now? That feels like it doesn't go together. It absolutely does, because when a creative superstar can have her calendar, his or her calendar set up right, then they show up like this, and they are Pied Pipers and everybody follows them. I had a creative superstar come to me in the middle, it was June of 2022. And I remember it because she had 500,000 followers on TikTok. Okay. I have to practically pay people to sign up for YouTube, and I'm on like 300, right? So this is not me, right? I'm not the gazelle online, but she came to me. She's like, I get this, but I've only made $35,000 this year. And I'm like, you're halfway through the year. I'm like, oh my God, with that audience, what I could do, right? Within a week and a half, we made $14,000 for her. Why? The first thing we did was set up her calendar. She was showing up too much. She was exhausted. She wasn't making the offers. She wasn't actually articulating what she thought she was articulating. Got her calendar clear, and then we set up everything to be clear. And then now she's making, I mean, she's like, she's one of those people that Linda would talk about, like, so yay for her. So creative superstars have tremendous capacity, but they need to have the relief too. Loving alchemists, similar but different. Loving alchemists are the personification of power. And we can all say, like, that's really cool to be the personification of power. That would be so amazing to be that way. And yet there's a depth there that people don't understand. And so loving alchemists do much better in small, intimate groups. They do much better in those, like having their own platform and having a fireside or poolside chat and be able to have these beautiful discussions that get really deep and really involved and talk about really profound things. And that's a lot. And some people, when think about the marketplace, oh, you online, it's 3 minutes. On email, you get 12 seconds. Who knows what you have? It's all in the headline or whatever. Loving alchemists is like, you kidding me right now? How could I even play in that space? It doesn't make any sense to me. So for loving alchemists, I'm talking to them about, you love to absorb so many things and you love to be dripping and drenched with it. Don't apologize for it. Be true to you and be powerful, and you will attract people to you. And that's what we set up for Loving Alchemists. So, okay, I'm just going to look at the messages a little bit. You can be a blend of course you can be a blend, right? So you're gonna predominantly be one, and then you're gonna look at something else. Because honestly, for me, I'm much really a lot of intuitive visionary, but I have some loving alchemist in me too. So I dance between the two. So yes, Dorothy, you absolutely can. But what we're doing now is a signature to give yourself permission to be true to you and to understand that we don't all enter the world through our minds, and yet we try to come up with mental solutions for things. And this is why it doesn't jive. Okay. Hopefully you've all taken notes and all the things on this, because we're going to jump into money, money, money. If anybody's ever seen me do anything on money, you're going to know I sing the song all the time. Okay, we're going to do a money guide ritual. Who wants to do a ritual? So, Linda, do you mind if I stop the share? I love to see people's faces. Okay, so we're going to do a money ritual. We're going to meet our money guides. Who is up for that? Yeah, let's do it. I have enough time. Okay. So I want everybody to take a nice deep breath. I want you to be like, we just learned a bunch of stuff, right? Yep, we have a beautiful amount of time. So you learned a bunch of things about timing. I gave you mind candy. I always do this. I'm going to give your mind all the candy so it can snack all into it, because then we can energetically zhuzh and vibe with all the things, because your mind's like doing the stuff. So you've got some timing promised. We promised timing with the stars. You also got some information about what types of signatures and the percentages of them in the world. So you can look to see what kind of messaging you want to do, and you can understand and appreciate what's really true for you and how you're making buying decisions. And then you can understand, gee, guess what? If I'm making buying decisions that way, that's going to be my tendency. So what are the other one or two ways that I want to fold in? And that's going to give you the ability to attract even more people in your life. But now we're going to do money. We're going to do money. Okay. So I'm going to give you just a little bit of information about money guides. We all have one. Money is energy. Money's playful. Money's strong and supportive. Money actually doesn't know. Like if I hold up money, I have money boxes and money plates all around me, by the way. If I hold up money, right? So I have money. I've got hundreds here. I've got tens here. I have fives here. I have a quarter. Money doesn't know its own value. This quarter feels just as important as this $100 bill. Literally. So when you're thinking about money and you're saying, well, I want $52 or I want $57,000 or whatever, and money gives you a quarter, money feels like it's doing its job. And you're like, the hell, this quarter, I could give a crap. You want to be like, oh, quarter, I adore you. I love you so much. You are the best in the world, because then it thinks it's the same as $57,000. So I just want to enter into this money guide energy for you in that light. So if you want to go off camera, because we are going to close our eyes, if you don't like to close your eyes, no worries. Just do a soft gaze, doodle, take some notes, but let your mind just kind of be open to the words flowing and just let them wash over you, because we are going to be opening up to money energy. So we want you to let you just go with the flow here, to be beautifully aligned with you. So go ahead, close your eyes. Like I said, if you want to get off the video, no worries there. If you want to doodle, I know a lot of people who doodle and just kind of lose themselves that way. It's perfect. There's no wrong way to do this. Okay. Because what we're going to do is we are going to just beautifully, gorgeously bring our attention to our brain space. We got a lot of mind candy, but we're going to just let those words roll around. We're going to let them be beautifully in our space. Whatever landed today is perfect. And we're going to set the intention that whatever needs to land will come right at the perfect time for you, just when you need it. So no need to hold on to all that information. You can let it be in your energy as we bring our attention down to our throat, down to our heart and our solar plexus and our sacral, just opening ourselves up to us. We can maybe feel our heartbeat and our lungs inhaling and exhaling. We can feel our diaphragm expanding and contracting. I like to bring our attention down a little bit further down into our bellies. This is our creation space. We have beautiful divine feminine energy in our left hip and divine feminine energy in our right hip. So we can create. And we're going to go ahead and do that today in just a few minutes. We're going to bring our energy down to our knees, down to our ankles, the soles of our feet. We're going to feel the feet on the floor. We're going to feel our connection to the earth. We can just feel that beautiful terra firma. The earth is so unbelievably, undeniably stable, secure, terra firma. Absolutely gorgeous. And as we have this connection to ourselves, we're going to envision money. We're going to allow money to come into our space. We're going to allow it to come into our space as a playful energy filled with fun and delight. Just feel a little sprite coming towards you, a little fairy, a little animal, a puppy, just bounding in. Hi, how are you? Like super playful, wants to play with you, wants to do lots of things with you, loves to be helpful and is about as helpful as a 4-year-old, but that's okay. Helpful. You can give this money play a job if you want. Let it go off and frolic and sing and dance. Let it entertain you. Money can also come in as this beautiful support, like this big, strong energy that just feels so incredibly comforting. It feels safe and secure. You can lean on it. It just feels so incredibly, talk about terra firma. Feels like always there for you. Money can also come in as like goal oriented. You know, those intentions that we set, that chart, ooh, I am here, I'd love to be there. I think it's kind of cute that Kim said that a quarter equals $57,000, but you know what? I really like the $57,000. I really like that. So I'm going to start putting some numbers together. I'm going to start putting some framework together. I'm going to be really detailed about this. Yeah, this makes me feel really comfortable. I'm going to write down my intentions. I'm going to set them. We're in this beautiful lunar energy right now. I'm going to make that happen. So go ahead. Let's set some intentions. Yes, absolutely. Money, money, money. Also, money can be your friend. Money comes right up to you, sits right beside you, says, hey, friend, how are you today? Where are we going for lunch? What are we going to do? That sounds really delicious right now. Maybe let's go to a spa. Let's go to a workshop. Let's do something. Let's go to the bookstore, see what's there. Let's go take a walk. Maybe let's go do yoga. I'm here for you. I listen to you. I give you advice. I help you in times of need, and I have fun with you in times of celebration, but I am always by your side. Money also comes in as big, huge, luxurious. You know, think of someone driving up in a Porsche or a Ferrari parking right in front of you, coming out bedazzled and bejeweled, almost walking on that red carpet, talking about a private jet and a private yacht, talking about their family money and their philanthropic giving. Yes, beautiful. Yes, money loves to be in this energy too. And there's also the cheerleader. You've got this. I am always going to be cheering you on, no matter what. You just made a terrible decision and invested all this money. Don't worry, you're going to be fine. Everything is perfect. You are the best. You are awesome. I love to be with you. I love to cheer you on. I will always be the one that says you are amazing. When you feel like you're on your knees, when you feel like, you just can't go on, I am just there, cheerleader, right there. So when we're thinking of these different money ways, let's go into our body. Let's go into our breath and let's relate to one or two of these. Let's go ahead and meet the money guides. Do we love that playfulness, the sassy, swinging on a swing together, feeling that exhilaration? Do we love that beautiful strength and that support? Really working on those big, big things with you. Do we adore those intentions, those growth, that target, that number? Do we want that striving? Do we love the friend who comes and does fun things with us and is here with sage advice? Do we adore the luxury, the contemplation, the energetics of the yachts and the giving and the generosity? Do we love that growth-oriented cheerleader, that wealth creator? There's no right or there's no wrong answer. Money loves you. The quarter, the dollar, the $5, the $10,000, the $1 million, the $5 million. Money loves you. And when you say, I love money, and you open up these pathways for money to come in, you can be surprised and delighted about how money shows up with you. Money shows up to pay your bills. Money shows up to buy you fun things. Money shows up to you to save and to invest and to grow. Money shows up for you to achieve your goals. Money shows up to give you that support and that safety and that security. Money adores you. And when your signature is in that more masculine, that wise strategist or that ruling warrior or that loving alchemist, it's beautiful to open up to those playful and those sassy and those inspirational ways. When your signature is the intuitive visionary or the collaborative explorer, the creative superstar, it's gorgeous to open up to those more stable and linear ways, those growth-oriented, those supportive ways. So this gives you the ability to say yes. Yes to money. Yes to setting your intentions around money. Yes to money, money, money. I love money and money loves me. So we can give great gratitude to you, to the energy of money, to all of the ways money loves to play and to be with you, to be useful and strong and supportive, to be growth oriented, to be inspiring, however it wants to be with you. And let's set an intention on this beautiful lunar ecliptic energy for today, tomorrow, next month, next week, next 6 months, next year. Breakthrough to you, 2025. Let's set some money intentions. Whatever comes to you is perfect. And with that, we're going to feel your feet on the floor. We're going to feel your hips, your back supported. We're going to take a few breaths in and breaths out. We're going to start becoming aware of our space, where we're sitting, and the air around us, any of those noises of our homes or our offices. Going to feel the weight of the flesh on our blood and our bones. Going to feel our jawline and our wrists and our ankles and our feet. Going to wiggle our fingers and our toes. Roll our wrists and our ankles. Really implant this energy and integrate it with us. Maybe roll our shoulders. Yep, stretching, beautiful. Taking beautiful breaths in. Yeah. See Lori stretching. I love that. You do some shaking. Can write some things down if you want. You'll remember this. You'll remember this. As we come off of or come onto camera, come back into the space. I'm dropping all of my connections into the chat. Anybody wants to connect to me, I adore connecting with you. If you have any questions, anything, we have a few minutes, but beyond that, please reach out. I've listed all the spaces. So if you have a special, social media channel that you want to reach out to me on, I will be answering. Also, too, you've taken the quiz. You're in my email. You're going to get 5 or 6 emails. They are more tips for you. There's going to be more tips on money. There's going to be tips on leadership. There's going to be tips on power. There's going to be, we're going to start doing some things around 2025 to give you a little bit more information. So you want to whitelist my email, kim@kimwoods.com, because there's gifts. I'm giving value. That's what I do. If you last and want to go on to after those 5 or 6 emails, you want to go onto my list, like literally today, every month I do a newsletter. I give a free gift every single month. So I only send 1 email a week. So it's not a terrible email list to be on. You don't have to stay on it, but if you want to, I invite you. So thank you so much for all the things. I hope you appeased your mind with some common certainty about the stars, got to know yourself and like yourself about those connections, about how to attract people into your world, and opened up to your signature and your money guide.